Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button. Christianity is a cult. We're hearing better without religion. Hey, shout out Mob Nasty. Shout out San Diego tapping in. Hey, I want to get everybody's opinion. I'm not religious, so let's make that clear. Like for those that's new, that's coming through. But I'm not religious at all. Like so, say how you feel. I'm all for like different people's perspectives. You don't ever just want to have one everybody on the same page thinking the same way. Nah, that's programming. So I want people that got different opinions, different beliefs. I'm like I said, I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religious person. But I had a conversation, a thought-provoking conversation yesterday with someone who uh, has a lot of knowledge. Someone who I was able to just listen to and gain like a different perspective about Christianity. So it inspired me to talk about like is Christianity a religion or a lifestyle? I already have my own opinion on it, but I want to get other people's opinion on it. Um, Make sure y'all hit that like button. I don't know why I didn't bring my other light on. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all ain't gonna comment. Do I need to do a poll? I can't even do the poll on my phone. I should have brought my tablet out here so I could have. Hey, shout out Andrew coming back, coming through. Black or African American isn't a nationality. What that got to do with it? People who are different. See, me growing up, and I'm not saying this is how I think today, but growing up, I grew up in a Christian household, so I always thought it was a religion. Like just growing up, that was the perspective. Didn't know what a religion was. That I just knew that's what people called a religion. So of course, like growing up, like I didn't have no choice but to be that. Like I ain't like my grandma and Gigi who raised me. They didn't give me a choice what I wanted to believe in. Like they didn't say, "Hey, here's the Kabbalah, here's the Quran, here's the Torah." They ain't give me none of other these books to read. They just said, "Hey, this is the right one. This is what you are. This is what you believe in. Go to church every Sunday. If you don't, you sin. You go to hell." Like so, my beliefs was based on like shit. Basically, somebody telling me what to believe in. Once I was like came into like thoughts and like thinking for myself. Well, not thinking for myself, but once you start remembering when you start remembering shit basically like so, but internally even though I was a Christian because I was raised in a Christian household, internally I never felt like I fitted in with religion with that religion, and mainly it was because of the people I seen around me. They wasn't like Christ basically. Like they wasn't like how a Christian should be. Like so yesterday I had a conversation with my son's grandmother, no, his great grandmother, which I call Cupcake, and like she's a Christian, but she doesn't like. She said she broke it down to me on like many levels, like, and she like Christianity is not no religion, it's a lifestyle, like so, and it's to be like Christ. If anybody who has like their own personal opinion of like Jesus, like it's either he did exist or he didn't. He was white or he was black, whatever. Mr. Ever, shout out to you coming through. But she broke it down. She said Christianity is the lifestyle is to be like Christ. Like so, me knowing like growing up in church, we was always told like Christ was the perfect person. Like so, in my head, my subconscious, that automatically means like, oh, I can never get to that level. Like I can never get to the level of Jesus off the strength like he was the only perfect one. Like so, based off that, based off those beliefs I had as a child, which I'm pretty sure I ain't the only one who had it, has those certain type of thoughts like that. I always felt like shit. I was doomed to go to hell like in that religion, like so. But it was once when I stepped away from church, that's when I like start to wake up and I start to realize, oh shit, these ain't my beliefs. These is beliefs that was handed to me. Like literally, I didn't fucking choose to be. And I don't know who listened. Let me say this. I swear a lot. Like I say a lot of curse words, swear words, whatever you want to call it. So don't get offended how I speak. It's not because I don't have the language or the words to say it. Like this is just how I express myself. Like so. But let me read some of these comments though. When I escaped from Africa to the fields of Georgia, Virginia, to work, and was forced on them. And was passed down. I believe that too. Blue Oak. Today's socialism. It's just a trend now, like sports for most people. No one really knows the real Christianity. Good comment. Albizu X official music session. But me, I'm not a Christian, but as I woke up and I began to like heal myself and like basically save myself, and I start going back and reading about like just Christ and like the Bible, I'm like, oh shit, this is what it means to be like a Christian. Like this is how you're supposed to live your life. Just not sin. Like I don't lie. Like I don't. I literally don't tell lies like that. I tell the. But before, when I was a Christian, when I was raised in a Christian household, I couldn't stop lying. I couldn't stop like lusting after women. I couldn't stop like falling from my temptation. Like so, it's like when I left church, that's when I was able to like heal from like stuff like that, like overcome that. And it was because I was looking at it from a different angle. I was looking at it from a spirituality angle where like karma comes into play, past lives comes into play. Is everything happens for a reason. There is no such thing as coincidence. Like and then like once I went back to the Bible, it's like, oh shit, that was kind of in the Bible, but it's kind of hidden as well. Like for the fact that Jesus died and like on the third day he rose again, that's reincarnation in itself. Like he just didn't fucking uh come back as a different person, different being like we do. But me being just I don't like I said I don't claim to be a Christian, but when I look at my lifestyle, I'm like, oh shit, that's what people like in church. That's what they be trying to get to, but they usually fail because they gotta heal themselves. You gotta heal your like karma. Karma is real, like shit. You cannot like Jesus will not save you from your karma. That's where reincarnation come into play. Like shit. You gonna whatever you dished out in this life, if you didn't get that karma in that this life, it's gonna happen in your next life. But the way life is set up today, like karma comes back quick. So people be doing shit now, like shit be happening right back to them quick, and they don't know, understand. Like, yeah, that's how it is now. It don't take 10 years for your fucking karma, 20 years for your karma. Most people used to think, oh, my karma goes to my kid. No, your kid got his own karma, and it's probably like yours. That's why y'all came back and reincarnated into the same family. Your kids really ain't your kids for one. Like, so y'all just all chose to be, y'all are a soul family, yeah, but every time you reincarnate, your children won't be your children. They could be your friends, your brother. They could be the parents next time. Like so, most people don't believe in reincarnation like I do, but hey, that's my beliefs. Like, and it's not just in reincarnation; it's on like a whole nother level of my beliefs. Like, so it's more than just dying and going to either heaven or hell. Like some people think that's it. Like that's why they be scared to die because they know. Shout out to 44B dog coming through. Like most people be scared to die because they know or not know, but they think they're going to hell because of their beliefs. If you are a Christian, you grew up in a Christian household, like you're taught that you're a sinner from the moment you were born. Like and like to know like you're gonna be sinning for the rest of your life unless you fix yourself. Like most people don't know that. Like and that's what like I said, reincarnation. You keep repeating these cycles, keep failing the same test. And when I was talking about religion yesterday with my with Cupcake, my son's great grandma, like she was just talking to me on a spiritual level, but she was just using the Bible. It was like she's old. Of course, she's older, so she has more experience, and like she's been able to really decipher the Bible. But she didn't leave church like I did to like gain that knowledge. I had to leave the church to gain like the knowledge, but she was able to find it within the Bible and like within it, like, and that's why she was able to tell me it's not a religion, it's a lifestyle. Because most people, yeah, they in church, but they not living that lifestyle. They just there because they want somebody to help them, like get to heaven or whatever it is they trying to go. I'm gonna read some of these comments. The colonists, we not only enslaved our people, but committed genocide that wiped out over 100 million Native Americans. But that's been going on forever though. Like genocide, it didn't just happen with the Indians and shit. Like that shit happens all over the world, even to this day. Would you be down to do lives with other people on Instagram? Yeah, for sure, House. Like I mean, but what it was, why I don't be on Instagram like that, because my original account had like 27,000 followers and it got hacked, and like so I just said forget Instagram. Like I'm not about to focus on it because my everyday like my subscribers was, I mean not subscribers, but my followers was going down for whatever reason. No matter what I posted, I could post. Well, probably wasn't being consistent like they wanted me to be, but like it was just going down for years. So I'm like, fuck it. Once it got hacked, I'm like, okay, I don't need this. Let me focus on YouTube, and like YouTube started going up ever since I got hacked. So to know like my Instagram got hacked at 27,000, and I'm about to hit 27,000 subscribers probably tomorrow or like the next day, like that's is dope. Like so, shout out to me for like not like being down on my Instagram, like, because you know how some people be like, that be their whole life. Like, if they was to lose their account, had a million subscribers, 2 million, like, they'd be distraught. Me, I'm like, fuck that shit. It was going down anyway. Like, so I was able to turn that negative into a positive. But social media like that, if you're not using it right, if you're not using Instagram right, you don't need to have it. If you going on there and you just scrolling and wasting time and wasting your day on not just Instagram but Facebook, TikTok, and you're not learning nothing, like that's where you sinning. Like that's what sinning coming in. Like motherfuckers not learning, not evolving. And we was having that conversation yesterday. She was like, we need to evolve. Like so, I'm like, even though she's a Christian woman, like I can tell, like she's way more spiritual, like than she understands, like. Cause she don't like when I don't even know how the conversation got to even the point it did. Like, well, I know I told her I'm like, I'm not a Christian, right? Like, that's how it started. But I don't know what made me say that to her. But I think it was because she had the Bible in front of me, and I'm like, I don't know, but whatever it was, I'm like, I'm not a Christian, right? Because I know she's a what's is above. She's an apostle. Like so, she has her own church, got her own business, bookstore, Bible store, and all of that. So, like for me to tell her that, I know it first caught her off guard because she like when I first came into the family, I was a Christian. Like shit, I had going to church with them. Like, but now I've evolved to the person who I am today, where I don't claim no religion or nothing. Like it's just me. I'm like Denzel Washington in the Book of Eli, where I'm just on my journey. Got the book, but it ain't the Bible. I just got books like within me. So motherfuckers be trying to stop me, but they can't. Christianity is a young religion. The older religions, the religion is for Christian kids attributes. That's why it's so prominent because it's young and it's hungry. Like we listened to the Bible, like the Bible series, like it showed how God when He first said He created the heaven and earth, and like He said how He was going. Well, He ain't really say it, but it showed how He started with Adam and Eve, and they fucked up. So He was like He had to scratch that. Then He found Abraham. Like He was just finding different people to follow Him and worshiping Him, and like to get His like gain whatever clout he needed to be, like be the god of all gods, because that's what he is now. Like that's his title. Like he gained that right. He knocked out Zeus, he knocked out Ra, Osiris, all of them, and any of those other gods that was out there before this God of the Bible. Like when he showed up, he destroyed Egypt. Like he took down Egypt, and Egypt was so prominent back then, but he was strategic in how he did that. He sent Joseph like into Egypt to like beat next to Pharaoh, like had control over Egypt through dreams, being able to decipher dreams, and like God sent him on that mission. And then he sent his people, the Israelites, into Egypt and forgot about them, left them there for like 430 years until like they were slaves. And then Moses came along, and once again, here come God showing up, saying, "Hey, I need another follower. Hey, do what I need to get done. Go free my people." And like, and when that happened, you know the story of like fucking Moses and Pharaoh. God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh didn't want to hold them people. He was like, well, first, uh, Moses was like, God said, let my people go. Pharaoh's like, who is God? Like, who is your God? I don't know who he is. We got all these gods, but I don't know who your God is. Like, so God was like, oh, you don't know who I am? Like, okay, I'm about to show you. Like, so when I say he really destroyed Egypt, like, that's why Egypt failed today. Like, it ain't as prominent as it is today. I say he beat Zeus, as you know how they say Zeus is now. I mean, not just Zeus, but Greek mythology. Like at a point in time, it wasn't called Greek mythology. That was people's real beliefs. So when I say Christianity, God beat out that. Like whoever God had his followers, they went to war with anybody else, and those other people lost to where things are now considered mythology. But once again, in the past, it wasn't that. It wasn't because it was considered real beliefs. So who knows? 1,000 years from later, this Bible, this Christian Bible, it'll be considered a mythology. Like it may be another God, but like, hey, it's my time to show out. Like this, the Christianity had enough. Like so, I'm a person that believes like there's multiple gods. Like we are all gods and goddesses if you wanted to get technical, but most people don't believe that. Most people believe it's something on the outside of them, like that's guiding them. I believe it's something on the inside of us. So I'm more of an agnostic believer, knowing like I know there's something out there that created this planet, but I don't know if it's like the God of the Bible. I don't know. I don't know. I just know it's something that created. I know it's something that guides me. I know that. I just can't say it's a God, because that was the conversation I had yesterday. She was like, "God is just a title. That ain't his name." So like when she was speaking, I'm like, "You making all these perfect sense." And like I didn't expect that from she's not religious, but I didn't expect that from a person who was a Christian. Like so, but she showed me an evolved Christian basically, because you got Christians that's just in the church, like that's just there because they've been there all their life and that they think this is the way to get to heaven. And then you got the people that evolve, like really in it, really believe it, and it shows. So I mean, it gave me a new perspective on like just the whole Christian lifestyle. And I'm like, even though I don't claim one, people would still see me. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a Christian. Like that's the I'm so, I ain't gonna say that, but whatever. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Before Greek mythology, I think we had the Sumerians who had their own gods. Oh, see, like it turned they all that shit. Like even the Sumerians, they look at it as like that's not real. Like most people would have beliefs of Catholic Christian, which is the God Almighty, but even Sumerian, even Osiris and like Ra and them, like even like not just a Syrian. I said I'm thinking of somebody. I can't, not just the Sumerians, but it's a. They even said Atlantis ain't real. Like people really think Atlantis is fake. It's just a story. Like nah, that shit was real. Like so, and that was predated 25,000, 50,000 years before Christianity, Catholicism. So that's why I said I can't say that the God in the Bible is the one true God Almighty, because like he comes into play what 6,000 years ago, maybe 2,000 years. I'm not too for sure on the time, but humans been here long time, like long time. Like I don't know. When I was a Christian, I didn't think we was here that long until like I started to study the Sahara Islands. What you mean by that? House the goddess is ever present in the human psyche, but I think I have my own perspective on what you said, but explain it so I don't get that wrong. Ain't if that's what mythology is, stories handed down. Ain't this Bible? Ain't that just stories handed down? So 1,000 years later, it's gonna be looked at as another mythology, just another story handed down. Because that's how I look at the Bible. I look at it as a story that was handed down. Like so, I create my own fucking Bible and shit. Create my own God. And like you never know. Who's to say what Nipsey Hussle created as far as like his, I ain't gonna call it a cult, but damn near like a cult. Like, who's to say Nipsey 1,000 years later won't be looked at as a god or God? Because he was here on this planet like Jesus, even though he wasn't perfect, even though most people consider him like a sinner. Like that's because they don't know, like they not tapped in, like they judging those things they did not know. The Holy Bible was none less written by. Exactly. That was my always. Even when I was a Christian, I'm like, man, it's written by humans. Like, how y'all know y'all was listening to God? Like, I know Atlantis is real. Like, literally, I know. Like, and they know it too. But the majority of mankind, human mankind, think it's just a myth. Which have an idea of natural knowledge of where we come from. And he knows it. Is that well? So, house. When you say like we all know we come from, that's how I like know past lives. That's how I know where my soul come from. It don't come from Earth. Like yes, my flesh looks human, but like my soul don't come from here. Like some people do come from here. Like so, they'll never resonate with who I am because their soul hasn't been to another universe or another galaxy. Like as you can see, scientists are telling you, is more than like unlimited numbers of planets and galaxies out there. Like, so you think we the only like man life out in this motherfucker? No. Like, so for me to say the God of the Bible is the creator of all that when he never even mentioned aliens like that, like then I can't say he's the one true creator. And then it limits when I hear he, I'm like, yeah, you're already limited. You said man. That's what you're calling yourself, a man of the Bible. Like so, well, God. So, but he did come back as Jesus, right? So, man, right? But I think it's something more than man. I don't think it's just man, woman. I think it's like energy. Like energy is like divine feminine, divine masculine. It's one. Like so, all the source is not no it's nothing manly. I mean, I can't say it's nothing manly or woman. Like it's all connected. That's all I'm saying. It's all connected. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Really appreciate it if you do. But that conversation I had about Christianity, it did kind of wake me up to a newer perspective. And even though I probably don't got the, I still don't got a lot of respect for a lot of people who claim to be Christians because I know they're not living that right lifestyle. But there are Christians out there that's really like living Christ, like manifesting how they manifesting. There are other like planets out there. I honestly hope that we never land on them for the sake of what lives that I don't want them to be corrupted by our God. They got their own beliefs, and they would not, even if we was to land on it, they wouldn't. Earthlings wouldn't be able to convert them. I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure they're more spiritually evolved. They're more technology evolved. Like Earth is really a low density. density like vibration. Like so these other planets and these other like galaxies, like they're very, I'm pretty sure 100% sure they're very high vibration. Whereas sometimes you can't even see them with your own two eyes. Like it like I said, it's more than what we can think. Like it's more than like what you can imagine, because our earth eyes only seeing so much. We can only think so much because like shit, there's nothing new under the sun. Like if nothing new, like if nothing out of worldly is popping up on this world, like then how could we truly know at the end of the day? But your DNA know, like your soul knows, your spirit know. You tap into yourself and know who you are. You gonna learn all this shit. So we gonna get back to the book club probably tomorrow. And I think I'm not thinking, but we're gonna listen to the convoluted universe. Hopefully that don't get copyrighted, but whatever. We're gonna try. Earth is a backwater planet. Should be about backwater planet. I believe in parallel universes and all of that shit. Like every time you've had a major decision in your life and like you was either down to this choice or that choice, like I believe you create another parallel universe where you did that choice. Some Jack Daniels. Together. Oh yeah, this ain't your regular Christian video, religious video. Like, definitely good. Man, coming back from Gary, coming back from back home, I was there 5 days. Like it shows me how much I've evolved. Like, cause I remember just being and living in Gary, and it wasn't that bad to me. It didn't seem that bad until I left. Until I left and came back. I believe in the multiverse too. That's why I fuck with Marvel heavy, DC heavy, because they be tapping into that. They be they be telling the truth, and people be thinking it's just entertainment. It's a motherfucker like Thor really real, like that Asgard shit really real. Motherfuckers just think they just watching TV. I know. My soul knows. Like literally, my soul knows. These two eyes may have not seen it physically, but I know these two eyes don't see everything. Like so, I know these two eyes have deceived me at certain times where I thought I seen something and it wasn't. But this eye never misled me. So it ain't even called the third. I don't even call it the third eye. I call it my first eye. Like my intuition. That real. That's what I follow. Like literally, that's what I follow. Can't follow no man. Can't follow like no book, no religion, no cult. I can only follow my intuition, like my heart, my gut, what I truly know. Like so, I'm 32. I've experienced enough in my life to know what got me successful and what made me fail in life. So understanding that, like shit, I failed in my 20s, my 19. I mean, I said my 19, but my teenage years, like until like now, I know not to make those same mistakes because I know where it got me in a hole. Like so, that's why I'm only evolving up from here. I grew up in the Catholic Church and the Baptist Church. She said, "Oh, I found that God." Exactly. So I have to find out like God lives within me too, Josh. So like most people, they still believe like God is outside of them. That's why they can't find God. That's why they don't know God. Me, I didn't know God until I found myself first. So, and I wasn't even. I was looking for God. I wasn't even looking for myself. I was trying to find God outside the church, and I like literally found myself. Then I just kept looking for God, because I still have to have that understanding. That, like now, I feel like I have a more clear understanding. For one, God is a title. Like God never truly reveals Himself, even if He said in the Bible, "My name is Yahshua." The first time He said His name in the Bible was to Pharaoh. He never told Adam. I said, yeah, yeah. He never told Adam and Eve his real name. He never told Abraham his real name. Abraham was about to sacrifice his son because God told him, and Abraham truly didn't know God. Like he didn't even tell Moses. The only reason Moses knew his name because Pharaoh was like, "Who are you? I never heard of you." And God was like, "My name is Yahshua." Like, but even then, how do we know like that's the name? Like that's just what the book say. Like so, man, book was written by man. How do we know they were really tapped in? Like how we know they wasn't part like this ain't like they own beliefs, like what they believe to be true. Like so, I believe like you always need to go out and find your own truth. Like so, my truth is like self, like knowing like if I believe in myself, knowing if I have faith in myself, I can accomplish and I can basically like get anything I want in my life. I've literally manifested so much in my life to know like I don't have to pray to a God outside of me. I don't have to get on my knees and pray to Jesus to ask for anything. Like that's more below me. Like I've got to the point where I can visualize it in my head, like believe it's gonna come and like work towards it and it always come. Like so me having that type of mindset, I'm like people waste their time praying. If I'm gonna pray, it's not to even ask for nothing. Like it's really not to ask for nothing. Like it's just probably to have a conversation. Like because I need to have a conversation like with a higher source, higher power. Like so, I know there's a higher power. Can't say what it is because I can't imagine. Like I said, these two eyes have not like I haven't seen. My intuition, I visualized plenty of times like me going to a place like heaven, like a heaven like place, and like I couldn't even see God's face. Like it was just a bright light. So how do I know it was like, you know, man, what or not man, but man. Yeah, or he or whatever. Started going to church a few months ago. I struggled really hard. Let me stay in the right direction. So if it helps, see, like I understand, like Christianity helps people. Like it's a spiritual level. Like it's because there's people who have no type of belief system, and once they find like getting to church, like it helps them. Like it guides them. Like so, I know that. Like me, I started off in that church. I didn't choose church. I didn't find church. Like I was placed in it by my family. Like so, I had to leave to like get an understanding. Like I had to find myself first. Like so, it was plenty of time where I was calling on God to deliver me from like temptation and lust, and I was still cheap. Like, and I'm like, man, I really want to get over it, but I'm like, God, you made me like this. Like, so I was kind of like blaming God, but once I woke up and I realized it was on me, like, I was having these lust and temptation problems because how I was in my past life. That's when it triggered. I'm like, oh shit, I'm like this way, and I won't fix myself because I don't know who I am. Like I don't know what I've been through, like already. But technically, everything we've been through in life today is like what we've been through, experience in the past life. Except if you're growing, if you keep evolving, you won't have to continue to repeat the same cycles. Most people repeat the same cycles in each lifetime, so that's why they stuck in a slavery mindset because that's the last lifetime they remember. That's the last life that keeps getting broadcasted. Like slavery is literally broadcasted yearly basis, talked about on a yearly basis. So it's brainwashing people to like stay in that type of mindset. Work a 9 to 5 to the day you die. That's not like that was never for me. Even in my past life, I'm like fuck a job. Like so, that's how I am today. Like I'm not about to work for somebody else when I can build it up on my own. Like have people working for me. But then that's like, dang, who gonna work for you if you don't want to work for nobody else? But I did already. Like I did my time. Working a 9 to 5 is like jail to me. Like you, even though they're not paying you pennies, it's pennies compared to if you the CEO. Like if you working a 9 to 5 and you probably make what $20 an hour, $25 an hour. Just imagine what the CEO is making. Like so, but if you love where you are in life, it don't matter what you're doing. Like everybody's not meant to be a CEO. Everybody's not meant to like be an entrepreneur. Like that shit is for really for certain individuals. So if everybody was meant to be a CEO or something, it would be way more businesses and way more ideas. But that's not the case. So I had to learn to stop talking down on like jobs and stuff because I'm like shit. It's just like a religion. Some people need that. Like literally, it's some people need it. Like so. I just evolve. I'm a person that I can't stay doing the same thing. I have to keep growing. I gotta keep evolving. Like, cause if not, I'm gonna feel like I'm stagnant in life. Like so, that I hate feeling stagnant. I've been stagnant when I was in church. Like literally, I knew I was stagnant in life when I was in church. Like so, I'm like, it was so depressing and stressful. I'm like, I can't do this. Like praying with the drum. See, I meditate a lot. That's what I do. That's my basically my prayer. But I'm not thinking about that. I'm in the present moment. I didn't try to hide your message, Andrew. Hold on. I did not try to do that. I can't even see what you said, Andrew, because I made a mistake and hid it. I didn't try to do that. If you in a spot, if you in a church and it's dope, like like great. I just never was a. Nah, you didn't even do nothing, Andrew. I had made a mistake and pressed it on a button. Like, yeah, it was nothing you said. I just forgot to bring my tablet out here. So, Bay, if you watching, can you bring me my tablet? It's in my suitcase. I haven't unpacked yet. So, man, I was in layover. Usually I get to the airport on time, like 2 hours early, just in case, right? So, I got to the airport 2 hours early. The plane was supposed to like get here around 9. We were supposed to board at 9:09, and I was supposed to make it back to Vegas at like 12 something. That shit stretched from it went from 9 o'clock supposedly getting on the flight till I didn't board till probably like it was like 1 o'clock. Like literally, I was at the airport from 7 to 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like literally, I hate that was really my patience was really getting tested. Like just every time I like told myself, "Hey, time is an illusion." Like something like that, say something like that to give me hope or something like. But every time I start tripping, like within my head, like man, like should I go say something? Like should I? But I'm like, man, I ain't trying to get kicked off no flight. I ain't trying to get stuck in no Chicago. It's cold out here. I'm trying to get back home. I'm like, man, finally made it back after like damn near 5 hours in that motherfucking airport. And that happened all the time when I'm coming from Chicago to Las Vegas. When I first came to Vegas, that shit happened to me. Like I was in the layover. Was supposed to be like a 30-minute wait to like 2 hour wait, and I got to Vegas super late. It was like past midnight when I first got to Vegas, so everything was closed. The lights was the Hollywood. I mean, I said the Hollywood with the Vegas. All the casinos was lights was basically not off, but you could tell like the strip was closed. I mean, it wasn't closed, but it was nobody was barely on the strip because of the time. So shit looked kind of like a ghost town when I first got to Vegas. I'm like, what the fuck? I expected bright lights. I expected a full strip, but it wasn't like that when I first got to Vegas and visited. I'm like, but the next day it was. Now it's people always on the strip. So I'm halfway, well, more than halfway to my monetization. Looking to be monetized by May. And I realize the more people are posting, having short channels where they only post shorts, and they be having hundreds of millions of views. They be having like 100,000 plus subscribers, and they don't even be monetized because they never like was able to like get like shorts don't monetize your channel if you're not monetized. You can get paid off of it, but it's since compared to like longer videos and shit. Like so, me, I figure like shit. If I'm not gonna get paid, I mean, if I'm not gonna get monetized from shorts, then I need to leverage that by getting on live. Like so, that's when I just started getting on live every day, and I literally went from zero watch time I was in January 1st to now I'm at like 2180 in March 29th. Like so, crazy, right? We went from 1,400 subscribers to we at 26,000 by telling myself, hey, every day you get on, every day you gotta post. That's what I told myself. I said, if you gonna get on YouTube and watch other people's video, then you gotta be able to get on live and like post your own video or post your own shorts. And now I had around 65,000 views total on my channel, 1,400 subscribers. This is all around December 2021, and I said 30 days straight, post every single day. I didn't get a million views in the first 30 days, but my views started going up more than normal. And then, like, I said, oh shit, if this happened within 30 days, let me see if I can go another 30 days. Just kept posting shorts, and it was easy for me to just see a Instagram video that I was inspired by, screen recorded, reposted. Like, it's cool to do that you don't get, like, copyrighted for it. So, check out Joseph Rodriguez, brother. I'm if I can remember, like I definitely check him out. Like so, what's he about? I never heard of him. Is he a motivational speaker or something? Uh, nah, why would you be telling me about a motivational speaker? Probably got somebody got some knowledge, some information, some occult knowledge. People be so afraid of like occult, like that word. They automatically assume, oh, that's demonish, that's devilish, that's negative. Well, you just don't know. Like people who look at the Illuminati as like bad controlling the world, like, you just don't know. Like like I done learned so much stuff in my journey. I'm like, where you Dalai Lama? Nah, nope. Wasn't the Dalai Lama. If, house, I'm telling you, if you guess it, like that could be. When I hit 30,000, I might just do that again. Like so, I'm 4,000 away. You probably, I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, you'll probably guess one more. And if you don't, like shit, I'm just keep talking so you'll eventually like figure it out. Like, and I'll mention it. I'll mention a name from the history, but sometimes if I mention a name, I might not have that may not be me, but so I may mention something, a name, and that could be me, but I'm not gonna say it was my past life. I'm just gonna mention a name. Like so, I tell people just use your intuition. I did some research on the Dalai Lama too, like a couple months back. Like the Dalai Lama kept popping up. Like that, just understanding how they picked the Dalai Lama. You haven't won yet. I'm not the Dalai Lama, so I don't work for nobody anymore. Hey, and that's what I'm like. I told myself I ain't about to work for nobody, especially when I know the CEO, the person who started. They probably started with nothing, probably just had an idea. That's where it come from, having an idea, like to do something, and then fucking having a plan and like like working towards that, like, and eventually you building it up to where you got people working for you. Like, so me knowing that, I'm like, oh shit, I got plenty of ideas that I be having. I just be letting go, forgetting about. It's me. I ain't gonna say me. Probably in my lifetime, I probably had millions of like $1 million ideas that I just let fall away because I was procrastinating, like content where I was at, like not knowing who I was, like, and knowing like those ideas could have got me paid because I would see, like, have a thought of an idea and then somebody would do it. And I know y'all had that experience too, where y'all thought something and you seen somebody else creating, like, man, that was my idea. Like, so knowing like shit, we all under like one universal like consciousness, one universal mind where we all get the same thoughts. Like if we on the same frequency, everybody on if you vibing on a high frequency, everybody on that high frequency. If they're entertainers, like if they're authors, if they're like whatever they do, they all gonna get the same type of thoughts, especially if they around each other. Like, you know, like people have us say something, and that person like, I was just thinking that. Like, so if you on the same vibration as a person, then that lets you know like y'all gonna be thinking the same thoughts. So it's not somebody copying. It's never, oh, that person stole my idea. Like, nah, like really, people be thinking the same thoughts. One person is just willing to speak on it first, or willing to, you know, like put the work in. Like, and the other person just like, oh, that's a dope idea, and just let it go, let it flow. Or not let it flow, but just let it go. What y'all want in life though? That was another thing. When I was a Christian, I didn't believe I can have my heaven on earth. Like, low key, I thought I had to die, and hopefully my name was in the book of the Lamb. Like, if not, I was gonna be going to hell. But like, just when I was older, like when I was a kid, I thought I was like could easily make it into heaven until you turn 13. Then it was like, now life is on you. Like shit, now like anything you do, if you die up until like if I was 12 and I had to die, it was like automatically I get to go to heaven. But once you turn a teenager, you start like basically thinking for yourself. Well, nowadays these kids are thinking for themselves at a young age. I got kids that's my daughter thinks for herself, and she's 4 years old, and she's been doing that since she was probably like two. Like, so now they're like maturing way faster, like thinking for themselves, like retaining information way quicker than I was in my, like, even though I don't remember when I started like retaining thoughts and stuff like that, but I remember like some of my first memories. I was still a baby, probably wasn't even walking, and I like still have like memories around that time. So your thoughts and mine is very powerful if you really tap in. My gosh, just tap in with yourself. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. But I realized when I talked about fucking Will Smith and Chris Rock, that got more live views than if I'm talking about the Bible, if I'm doing a book. So I'm like, do I really have to talk about worldly shit for people to like watch and click? Like, cause they don't want to like click on something if it's titled something about some Christianity. Like, low key, people don't want to hear that. Like, I mean, some people do, but overall, world people to like get views and like, cause I'm trying to get monetized. Like, but at the same time, like shit, I might start having to clickbait these titles, like name something it ain't even nothing about, and people like, wait, what the fuck? Click that. So I might have to title this about some Will Smith. So let me talk about some Will Smith shit right now. What did I tell y'all in the last live? I said Chris Rock is tour is gonna go sell out more. Them tickets went from $41 to like, I was looking online out here in Vegas, man. It tickets 2,200, like, and that was before he got slapped. Like, so I told you, this shit was all like planned, like, and even like entertainment. It's entertainment. Look at it like all as entertainment. So I'm not fucking about to sit here and say, hey, these two black men is embarrassing in front of all these white people. Like that's some like controlled Illuminati type shit. But at the same time, like shit, if that's what y'all want to fucking talk about, if that's what y'all want to see, like fuck it. Like I could talk about the shit too. I was in the barbershop talking about the Lakers. I don't even watch basketball like that, but I knew enough about the game and about the players on the team. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit is in me already. It's like the Bible. It's in me because that's what I was raised on. I was raised on watching Jordan in the 90s. I'm from Gary, Indiana. 30 minutes away from the United Center. Probably not between 45 minutes the most from the United Center. Even though I never went to the game, my grandma at least took me to the Michael Jordan restaurant in Chicago. Like so, man, I experienced like I have a connection. It's nostalgia. Like so, I can talk about basketball any day because I got the NBA app on my phone and I'm always checking stats, even though I don't talk about it like that. Even though that's not my main focus, I could talk about some Hollywood shit. I could talk about movies. Like so, if that's what people want to hear me talk about, like that's cool. You go back to the Lakers, Boston. Hey, so you '80s baby, like so. Me, I'm the '90s. So, like Scottie Pippen was my favorite player. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Until I got older, I'm like, I really fuck with Jordan. Now I'm from Indiana, Gary, Indiana. I was born in Atlanta, moved to Milwaukee at the age of probably 2 to 3. Got took away from my mom at that same age. Then we came to Gary, like so. I wanna check out that show on HBO Max with the Lakers. So I think I'm gonna check it out. I was just watching King Richard, like so that's a powerful movie. Like if y'all seen the movie with King Richard with Will Smith, what he won the best actor for, that movie is super powerful, and he showed this where it got me from the beginning. He was like, before my daughters was born, I already had their plan for their life. I already knew they was gonna be tennis stars. I already knew they was gonna win the Wimbledon. Like so he had already mapped out their whole life before he even had them. Freddie Gibbs on Power. I seen a couple pictures of it, but I didn't see the show. Like so, I once Force go off, then I'm probably go watch them all and like binge watch them. But I started watching Power when nobody was on Power like that. Once it got mainstream like that, that's when I stopped watching Power like low key. Like when the season Ghost died, I stopped watching. Like I just that one question. What's up? What's your one question? But I'm gonna watch like I said, whatever people want to talk about, I could talk about the shit. But my mind is just like so like how it's wired. Like is to talk about like thought provoking things. Like so, but I may have to just like switch the titles up just to get the views up, the clicks up, because I'm trying to get monetized. And I see people that's got millions of views and followers, and they still fucking clickbaiting with the title. So I'm like, shit, I might as well do that shit too. Like, what the fuck? You gonna be mad that the title it ain't what it said? But like I said, I could change the title and say this about Will Smith and like not I mean Chris Rock not filing no charges. And I said he wasn't gonna do that. I told you this was both of them to get more attention and more money. And it's working. For the past last day, like that shit all been about Will Smith, Rock. So it got the people's attention. So like if this got like my last live got like 400 some views, like that is more numbers, like more. That's not a lot for just the average person, like overall. But for me and my channel, like people watch shorts, like they're only on a shorts like short. What is it? Mind span? Not mind span. I can't even think of the word. But they don't watch it for so long. So like Shorts is where I get all my views. Like, but the people who come to my lives, that's probably because they really fuck with me. Like, so for it to be 400 people who like, well, not 400, but an average of 200 people who come and watch my lives, and they know it's me talking like this. That's 200 people in a room sitting watching what you got to say, and that don't mean it's just 200 because they got other people that surrounded them that's probably listening as well. Like, so for me understanding that, I'm like, oh, it's always more than what it seems. So can't get caught up on like the actual numbers that see, like, cause they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but numbers do lie, especially when they manipulated by men. Let me go back. All right. Gibbs and Gary, Indiana. I know he. Yeah, I never met Gibbs, but I know where he's from though. What is your opinion about David when he sent Uriah to the Hittite to the or to get killed just to marry his wife? You gonna? That's a great question because I actually watched a video about King David and all. No, I did some research about King David, and like that story always stuck with me. Like how he Bathsheba, like he like set up her husband to get killed. It takes me back to a song by J. Cole. I forgot the name of it, but it was just talking about how he wanted this girl and she had a dude, like so he had a plan like just to knock the dude off. Then they made a video on Power Trip, like that was like the sequel to the song. So it's fucked up what he did, but God punished him by killing like the firstborn of that child. So I'm like, he got his karma, but at the same time, like we like he ain't have to do that. At the like he ain't have to do that. But some men like they gonna do whatever it takes. Like so, even though God looked at David as like one of the greatest men, like so, we all fail like at something. I don't trade forex, but I trade stocks. Is it okay to that God when his man kill other men? If it is okay to the God, man. God be killing people for his benefit. He be sending people who like to kill people. He about the game thinking he would go up against Marshall. I think Game has always had that like confidence about himself. Like I was a G Unit fan from the jump. I ain't gonna say from the jump because I'm from the Midwest, so I ain't get on 50 Cent till like 2003. Like so, like to understand, like I've been a fan of 50 Cent and G Unit like from like when Game got signed. Like I was a huge like I had the documentary and I may have the bootleg, but still I was a big Game fan. But when he went his separate ways and he started dissing G Unit, I'm like, this motherfucker is raw, but I can't like him because I'm G Unit. I'm like, and he was screaming G U not. So I'm like, fuck this nigga. So, but I always had respect for him, like just off who he was. But for him to say he can go against Marshall Mathers, it's a song that he got on that documentary, and he was saying like Eminem murdered him on his own beat. So that's two different games though. Like that was when him in his 20s, and like now he's what in his 40s saying he smashed Eminem. But I don't believe so. But I believe like what else was he supposed to say? Like I mean, even though he said that on his song, like you supposed to think highly of yourself. Game picked way harder beats than Eminem. Eminem, like they both lyrical as hell to me. Like no lie, like they both lyrical. But Eminem destroyed more people in like beefs. Like his disses was always hard. But then again, the people Eminem was going against was like they wasn't that hard themselves. So like, of course he was gonna destroy them. I still fuck with Eminem. Was a big major influence on in my life when I was a kid. I was one of them kids saying my dad's going crazy. I do them whole lyrics. Don't play with me. I ain't know Eminem came back on the video, but I know Eminem know who the game is and how he is, and like how game just says things to get the attention on him, like get the clicks and the likes and the views, like that. It's all just it's all I ain't gonna say it's all manipulated, but it's all part of the game. No pun intended. It's all part of the game. So I ain't mad at him for saying that. Like if more people was gonna comment on my video and more people was gonna watch my video, I say it too. I murder Eminem in a fucking rap battle, knowing I'm lying my ass off. Like it was still, it was kind of crazy, but it's. But I like I said, I've been an Eminem fan like for a long time. But I'm not like how I used to be when I was a kid. My favorite album. Shout out to Dave East. I haven't checked out his new album, but I fuck with Dave East. Like I fuck with the Kari Chanel mixtape. Uh, Type of Time, Dave East. Like him and Nipsey got a lot of music together. He actually was one of the reasons I was listening to Nip in the beginning. Like so, I always knew who Nipsey was because I was a fan of hip hop. But he was a Crip. I was a Vice Lord growing up. So like he banged blue, I banged red and black. We both banged the left, but at the same time, like he was on the cover with Freddie Gibbs in 2010. Like so, I'm gonna be more of a Freddie Gibbs fan than I am a Nipsey Hussle fan. But here's the thing: Nipsey is the only one who stood out in that freshman cover. Like everybody else had on black. J. Cole was on there. It was OJ the Juice Man was on there. It was Wiz Khalifa was on there. Like Nipsey Hussle was the only one who had on all blue. Like so, he always stood out. But I wasn't a Crip. I wasn't from LA. I couldn't resonate with what he was talking about. Like so, even though I wasn't even a big Freddie Gibbs fan. Even though he was a Vice Lord, I wasn't resonating with his music like that. I was in the military, and like I was on J Cole. I was more of a J Cole fan. Like so, I went down that path. If I had to start listening to Nip early, I'd have been way past it. Like I'd have been way advanced. Like so, I'm just happy I got on Nip before he passed away. Like so, like most people, like even though it was pretty late that I started, like I really became a fan of him. Like I say, when Victory Lap dropped, that's when I truly became a real Nip fan. Like I was just a casual fan before, but when he dropped Victory Lap, I'm like, oh, this the one. Like so, I just wish he could have dropped something else before, but hopefully they got something in storage. Oh, so you just get on East? Like I fuck with the old Nip. I mean, I said Nip, but the old Dave East more than the new Dave East. Not to say he's more mainstream or different or nothing. I just haven't been checking them out like that. I have been. No, I do still watch his YouTube. If a video pops up on my timeline and like he probably got a freestyle, if I watch one video, I'll probably watch two or three or four more videos, and then like I probably won't listen to another Dave East for a minute. But then if I feel the urge to like listen to like one of his old school mixtapes, I'm gonna play like a few like you know how it go. But on the daily, I'm gonna listen to Nip. I'm gonna listen to Money Man, who I'm a new fan of. Like, and I'm kind of sad that I just got on him. Was fucking Payroll Giovanni. Like so, like he a big one now. Like that I'm tapping into now. Like so, and he's still underground. Like so, he's not that mainstream. Like so, it's not my fault that I wasn't tapped into Payroll Giovanni because like what he was talking about, I couldn't have resonated with that either. Like so, now I can resonate with it, so I can hear and understand what they talking about. So it's all about timing. Like shit Nip was talking about in 2003, 2000, not 2003, but 2009, 2010, 11. I wasn't able to resonate with that when I was in my late teenage years and early 20s. Hey, Payroll definitely jam. Like, so I'm definitely like on that 10 stack commandments right now. But it took Nip for me to listen to Payroll Giovanni. It took Nip for me to listen to the Money Man as well. Like, so he's the branch to why I listen to a lot of these the rappers I listen to today. I fuck with Dolph too, like heavy, and Nip like fuck with him too. So like the people who I listen to, they all motivating, money getters, like putting you on game. Like I can't listen to somebody who ain't talking about nothing. Like, so if you just jibber jabbing and saying you lyrical, like, and you not really giving no game to help me in my life, what the fuck I'm gonna listen to you for? Like, so that's why I don't really listen to J. Cole like that no more. Like, yeah, he's still dope as an artist, but overall, like, how is you helping me like get to the next level financially overall? Like, cause that's we ain't we all trying to be millionaires? Like, shit. Well, most Christians not. They just content with what they got. That's a big problem what I have with Christianity as well. Like, it was like it's hard to make it in heaven if you're a rich man, but that's not going. That's what stops a lot of people. Literally, that's what stops a lot of people from being successful and wealthy in life. They're like, man, I can't be rich on heaven, or I'm gonna die and go to hell. No, if you just lose yourself when you get money and you start tripping out, like it ain't even you gonna die and go to hell. You gonna lose that before you do that. Like so, me, like I've learned my lessons before I even made it to the millions. Like I've learned what I need to learn. Like to when I get it, like not to switch up, not to like act different, none of that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep evolving and growing over time, but I'm not one of them people that's just going I'm poor, I work and pay bills. See, I said I can't do that. Like literally, I told myself I was like that in my 20s, and I'm like, the fuck, I can't do this. Like, I see my grandma like still working a 9 to 5, paying bills, and I'm like, you supposed to retire. You're in your 70s, and I'm like, that ain't what I want for myself. Like, so I'm like, fuck it. A 9 to 5 is not going to help me. First of all, I got 7 kids. Like, so they only trying to pay me like the highest is $28 an hour. Like, no, because I got some tech. I got tech information. I got tech schooling under my belt, IT. So if I was to find a job, I could find one like that'll probably pay me like 40, $50 an hour. But still, I'm not about to wait for a paycheck. I'm not about to wait 2 weeks to get paid, especially if I gotta drive to that job every single day. And especially if you know as soon as you get it promoted, you want to get a better car, get a better house. Like so is the money is always going to be eaten up by your lifestyle. And then you can't depend on that job. How you know you're going to do that forever? My job, my grandma was at a hotel, the Holiday Inn for years. 18 years I think, and then like she got had to get surgery and they let her go. Like so we thought that she was gonna be there forever. Like so it didn't work out that way. So I understand you can't depend on no job. Like so me, I'm on the path to like I already got my business. Like now it's like shit. Now I'm in the position I'm like I'm trying to hire people to like just help me run this mode because like, I need workers. Like, so I can't say, hey, you shouldn't be working a 9 to 5. Like, shit, fuck that. Some people need like to work because I need help. So we all need help in life. So most people just not willing to pay somebody what they worth to get it. So I want to be able to get in a position where I can pay people what they worth. I don't want to just try to get over on people. I want to truly pay a person what they worth. So that ain't what these jobs is on, and that's kept me away from job. Like I'm a veteran, a disabled veteran at that. Like so I don't have to like I ain't gotta work. Like so I ain't ever have to like once I got my benefits, I'm like I didn't ever have to truly work a job. I was really doing it for the extra money. Like so make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. I know a random person who come in here who's seen the title and they see this, they can be like, "What the fuck? This ain't had nothing to do with Christianity." But hey, I'm gonna change the title anyway so I can get more clicks. I'm like, "Hey, we was talking about Chris Tucker not filing charges against fucking Will Smith when we all knew like that. Well, I knew that wasn't gonna be the case. I knew like shit they were just gonna benefit off this. I knew Chris Rock had a tour. If he's hosting the Oscars, that means people want to see him. People will pay to see him. Like so, his tour went from $41 to I checked my own two eyes that in Vegas, if you want to see Chris Rock front stage, it's $2,200. Like so, people is paying that to take a slap, and I'm an actor, and there ain't no telling how many times. Didn't he play in Head of State right with Bernie Mac, and they was punching each other the whole time? Like they're actors. Like so, I seen pictures where like they seen them like bracing for the slap and shit. Like it's acting. They put on a great show. It got the whole world talking. It got people buying their shit. It got more money in their pockets. Yes, that's what they wanted. That's what they knew was gonna happen. And now, like shit, Will Smith got his dignity. It made Jada Pinkett at first. You know how she was looked at. She wasn't looked at as so in a positive light. She was looked at as a HOE 3 or 4, what we used to call it. Like so. Now people like defend like, oh, Will Smith should have took up for his woman when they know like how they was. Then you got people like Chris Rock. He's a stand up guy. He didn't like strike back. Like so, everybody's getting their own like they needed the attention, right? Ain't that what Hollywood do? Whose idea was it though, or was it? Is it real? I don't know. Like it wasn't. I wasn't there. I just seen it like y'all seen it. I just got my own perspective, and that's what it. That's what it's about. Having your perspective on shit. That don't mean you right about it. It's just what comes to your heart you speaking on. That's the second time Chris said something. Yeah, I posted a short of that like when he did it in 2016. They said Jada and like Chris Rock. Another thing, like how you got a show or a movie called Hair with black women, and like now you talking about somebody who about G.I. Jane, like how she ain't got no hair. Like so, that's kind of hypocritical of you. But at the same time, this ain't the first time he joked, and like I said, I know this is all scripted. They have a script to go by. This is not off the top of they don't. And after if you see that picture, you see him brace for that slap, like he got a smile on. You know it's coming. Like so. Like I said, eyes is deceiving. You never know. You truly never know. So I'm not Will Smith. I'm not Chris Rock. I'm not the people who did the show. None of that. My whole thing, like I said, it's entertaining. It's entertainment. Yeah, they did it in front of a bunch of rich people, white people. Yeah, that makes black people look bad overall. Like, but at the same time, like, if that's they had to go, like, this is all just for show to get us more money to get paid. Why not? Everybody in Hollywood is saying Will is wrong, and he should have said something. Yeah, but is Will a comedian? Like, literally, is Will a comedian? He would have lost right there. I'm telling you, to me, it's acting. They're actors. If they was something else, I would have been like, oh, that's real. That may be real. But at the same time, I know they're actors. They've been doing it over 30 years. Like, they just bringing it to real life now. They used to just have it on TV shows and movies. Like now it's in real time. So ain't that what we want? And like, ain't we? I know that's what I want. Digital nomad, digital is a lifestyle forced on you by society. It is. It really is. But if you live a Christian lifestyle to the T like Jesus, if you live your life like Jesus, right? Like exactly how he was, didn't get tempted by nothing, like didn't let nothing stop him, knew who he was, believed in himself, believed in what he believed in his father, believed in what, like, had faith, didn't doubt at all. If you live like that, wow, that's not a bad way to live. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like so most people, most Christians don't live like that though. Like so they the complete opposite. That's the whole thing. But you do got people that do live like that. I had a conversation with my son's great grandmother yesterday who's a Christian, and she said it's a lifestyle. And she actually lives it as, like, you could tell like she really live it. So the more people who I came across in Christianity, they were a religious person. They didn't see it as a lifestyle. They said, "Oh, this is what I believe in." Like so, she gave me a different perspective to where like I ain't got to down talk the Bible and what other people believe in. But if you're not living your life how you supposed to live it, like a Christian live, then like I mean, I'm not gonna talk about nobody's belief. Fuck it. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe, and we can be happy. You're not Christian. People assume something inherently wrong with you. I'm from. That's how I am. Where I'm from too. I was a funny guy on Bel Air, but he started as a funny guy, but that was scripted as well. He didn't like. He didn't write that. All he had to do was act. If you a good actor and like shit, and you play the role right, shit, it's gonna turn out how people want it to turn out, how the writer wanted it to turn out. Like, but if you are doing your own thing and the shit not working, that show ain't gonna last long. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. If I was in Hollywood, I probably would script something like that. Like say, hey, we need to do this in live. Make this, and yeah, y'all, man, give me the choice to do something like that to blow my YouTube channel up. Well, why I ain't probably got to get embarrassed or nothing like that, but give me something where I can get everybody's attention on me. I'm gonna do that and if it's not in a negative light, because I'm not gonna do nothing that's gonna make me look bad. Like I'm not gonna do nothing like I don't agree with. Like fuck that shit. But if I can, if it's something that makes sense to me, I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Like shit, especially if I know, like, if I at 26,000 subscribers today, if I was to do something that would spark and have all eyes on me, my channel could grow to like 1 million in the next couple of days. I'm like, shit, fuck it, let me do it. If I could have go from 6 people in my live tonight into the next tomorrow having 100,000 people watching me, seeing what I got to say, I would do it. Like not to sell my soul, but like to get your attention. Like Daylight is a person who I I ain't gonna say I look up to, because I really don't look up to nobody but myself. But someone who on my journey taught me some things, like opened me up to new like perspectives. Like he showed me like shit, this shit is what you want it to be for one. Like and this shit is all a game. This shit is the Matrix. I'm interested in going to one of those Christian Scientology churches. I haven't tapped into Scientology yet, but that's not to say I won't go see what they got to say. I'm not against. I don't know. Like I'm not against what they got to say. Like I don't know what the fuck they be talking about. I've never judged them, but they'll say like the person who started it was a racist. Like I've researched that guy, so I'm like, but at the same time, like I'm not. I would never join Scientology, but I would study what they was talking about just to get my own understanding, like just to see if they're onto something. Like, and if I can utilize that in my life and in my journey. Like, so if Buddhism got something that I can utilize in my life that helped me, if chanting helped, if saying help while I meditate, yes, I'm gonna utilize it. That don't mean I'm a Buddhist. If the fucking Bible says ask and you shall receive, I'm going to ask and receive. That don't mean I'm a Christian, but I'm gonna utilize what I learned from the Bible. Like whatever it is, I'm gonna utilize what works for me. Most people would stay stuck and say, "Hey, this is the only thing that's right. This is the only thing that work. All that other shit is fake. All that other shit is not real." Like that's staying inside a box. That's staying like limited, having a limited perspective. Me, I don't think like that. I'll steal your books like before I steal your money. Like literally, I'll steal your knowledge before I steal it. Like anything from for a treasure. Like I'm gonna learn from you before I like take a handout from you. I'm gonna see how you got to where you got in life, and I'm gonna study and I'm gonna take what works for me, and like I'm gonna like incorporate that to what I got going on in life. And usually when I do that, like I mean that's what works for me. It's like anybody watch Naruto, right? Kakashi is one of the main characters, and it's like somebody does damn what's that move called? Shit, I ain't that big of a fan, but like I said, I could talk anime because it's things that I've seen that I can like relate to. Like, but he sees people's moves and he's able to like emulate that move. Like, so that's how I kind of see myself. Like, I take all like the best things from anything that I see. Like, whether it's a person, whether it's Nipsey Hustle, I take with the marathon. Like, I have that mindset. All money in, no money out. I got that mindset. Like, so investing in myself, I got that from him. Like, so I took that from him. Like, so I'm not a game banger. I didn't pick up cripping. I didn't pick up like none of that. The bad things, the negative things that he experienced, I picked up the positive things. Like, so Money Man, I'm a big Money Man fan. I picked up like things from him. I didn't pick up scamming, or like none of that anything negative. But I picked up like how you should take care of your credit. Like I learned from things like that. Like so that's why I said if you make music, I gotta be able to learn from you if I'm gonna listen to your music. I can't You can't just be saying jibber jabber that shit that like don't got no meaning to it. Like and that's why most people are stuck and lost in life because they listen to bullshit music and that music is not helping them grow. Like J. Cole music helped me to be more transparent with who I was, more open, but it didn't help me get money. It didn't help me get paid. Yeah, he got paid. Yeah, I was investing in him and like I ain't make not $1 off listening to J. Cole. As a matter of fact, I was in my brokest time listening to J. Cole, thinking like I was going like getting rich or something. Like that shit didn't motivate me to get money or nothing. It didn't motivate me to hustle. J. Cole has no hustle about him. Like from my perspective, as like if I'm listening to his music, he didn't give me like he tried to sell drugs, but his friend like, bro, you a college dude. I wish I was in your position. Why would you do that? Like so that's how I was thinking. I'm like, why would I sell drugs? Why would I sell weed if I know I'm somebody, I know I'm gonna make it. Like, but listen to Nipsey Hussle, he told you why he had to do that. Like, cause he wanted more for himself. Like, he ain't had no opportunities around him. Like, so should be like that. You just go through life and you understand. Like, if you really observe people, you can learn a lot. Like, it's a lot of shit that you won't have to deal with in life because you see what somebody else did and messed up, failed at. Like, if you take that into consideration, like knowing like everybody you see in your life is just another reflection of you, like you'll be able to like to learn some shit. Everybody you know like that in your life, good or bad, they're there to teach you something in life. Like so look at everybody as just a teacher, whether it's your relationship partner, your kids teach you. Like literally your partner teach you, like your siblings teach you different things about like or what you need to know in life. Like so My throat about dry as hell. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But we just hot boxing in the ride. Hey, I'm proud of myself though. Hitting 26,000. Actually, I hit 20,000 on my birthday. It's been 2 weeks and 1 day after my birthday, and I hit 26,000. So that's 6,000 in like 2 weeks. That's for me gaining 2,000 subscribers. No, 6,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. Like that's major for me. Even though yeah, there's people like Mr. Beast who probably clocking like 60,000 subscribers in an hour, 100,000 subscribers in an hour. Like, bro, for me, I'm still growing. Like, I don't have nobody that's shouting me out. I don't got nobody that's like known, like that's putting me on. Like, this is off the strength of me posting like my ideas, what I need to post and what I need to do to grow my brand and my channel. Like, so I'm wear that like as an honor, the badge. Like, can't nobody say they put me on. Like, so, and if you know me, I'm connected to people who could like put me in a position to be way better in life, but I didn't let that, I didn't be codependent on that. As a matter of fact, I burned those bridges to where I couldn't depend on nobody to put me on. Like, I didn't want to be one of those people that said, oh yeah, he put me on and this wasn't on me. But you know what I learned in life? It really don't fucking matter who put you on. It don't fucking matter. Somebody's gonna put you on. Somebody's gonna see you. Somebody gonna help you. Somebody's gonna put you on. I just didn't want a certain person saying they put me on and being like, "Hey, I put him on. The only reason he hot is because I did it. I didn't want that." Like, so if somebody's gonna put me in position, I'd rather that person would never say nothing about it, knowing he did and me knowing he did it and respecting that like fully and like just going on about that, like making money. I don't want somebody to say, "Yeah, I put only reason he in that position is because of me." What the fuck? Like, I'd rather get put on by a stranger who I don't know, who got good intentions for me, than someone I do know who got bad intention. Like, so all money ain't good money. Like, so me, like I said, building up my own YouTube platform is major. Like 26,000 like is heavy because I know I'm still growing. I know like this I'm only what 3 months in, almost 4 months in on posting every day. No, actually I started in December or November 30th posting every day. So I'm technically 4 months in of posting every single day. Like, so even though I haven't got on live every day, like I take breaks because I need to like, man, I have to hit that reset button. Like, even though I can talk, even though I could do this probably every single day, I still gotta have my break. So I went to see my son and Gary. I'm like, man, he is like 5'10". I'm 5'7". He only 12. Luckily, my son is like, he's a humble and grounded kid. Like, so he ain't gonna say, aha. Like, most kids like make a joke like they taller than their dad. But like, my son is like, he like me. So like, he's super quiet and humble. Like, he just stay in his own lane. Like, so it makes me proud because I remember as a kid, I wish I was taller. Like, I just wish I was taller so I could play basketball. He don't even care about being on the basketball team or his school. His middle school don't have a basketball team, so he can't be on the team. Like, but my son is a hooper, like who doesn't care about basketball, and he's tall. As a 12-year-old, he'll be 13 next month. He's 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". Like, so I'm like, you were everything I wanted to be. Shout out to Tasha coming through. Would Tasha didn't even say that. She just came in like blocking people. But Josh was like cool the whole time. Like I don't know what he said. I didn't get a chance to see it, but it must have been like one of those statements that was like kind of hidden at first. So I can't see those. So my moderators are able to like hide messages. But oh, that was an accident. See, I did that too. That's the second time that happened. Like so, we got to see what Josh said because I know he's still in here. I went on a 5 day, almost 6 day of not smoking flower. It was basically I only like took edibles and fucking smoked the vape. But I didn't smoke flower, which was major for me because for the past 3 or 4 years, I probably smoked. No, it's probably days like I didn't smoke, so I ain't gonna say that. But like for the past year, I've probably smoked every single day. Like haven't took a break. So for me to take that break when I went back home, knowing I could have got weed easily, I didn't like I could have got the weed. I just like nah, I'm gonna stick it out. Like, but I have my edibles to help me sleep because when I don't smoke, I can't sleep. That's like my biggest thing. So now I'm back home. I've been cheaping it up. Throat been fucking like screaming for fucking water and shit. What bait at? I'm thirsty. Can you bring me some water if you're in here? You probably doing something else. But literally, that motherfucking Will Smith made me watch King Richard. Well, it wasn't him who made me watch it. It was Brother Panic who made me watch it. He didn't make me, but he was like saying, "Hey, go watch that," and it showed me how in King Richard he manifested Serena and Venus to be like what they was. Like he knew, like he planned that to happen before they were born. Before Venus and Serena was born, he watched a video of a tennis match, and he was the girl for 4 days. She got $40,000. Like so, he was had to like, oh shit, I need to have two girls. Like shit, that's 80,000 for 4 days. Like so, he by the time like they was born, like he already had it planned out. He already had a tablet. Like he was networking from Compton, like telling his daughters from the jump they're champions. They're gonna be champions. Like and that's how I am like with my children. Even though I don't tell them they're gonna be champions because they don't play sports like that. Like he had the right mindset no matter what. He had the right mindset to make sure his daughters knew who they were. Like so I have nothing but respect like for and I would when I first came on HBO, my wife would tell you, I said I don't want to watch that shit. But Brother Penny, he like, hey, go watch that because it's symbols in it. Like so I had to go see for myself. Like and I seen like a lot of symbols in it. Like how like he took a lot of shit in that movie, but like overall, how what look what he done. Like look who his daughters was. Like he had 5 daughters, but there was only two who like Venus and Serena. Like that says a lot. Like so, he like why you don't do that to all your kids? But he didn't have that idea when he had the older children, the older siblings. That idea came when he had like he's or them saying why you don't train the older one. They're already like how they are. They don't like tennis like that. So he from birth with the mindset he had the law of attraction. He probably knew what the law of attraction was, and like because he was an entrepreneur already. Like so, man, I could if I could literally create the next president. I could literally create the next general of the army. Like what my mindset would like telling you, hey, I can have a child and from birth, I can train that child. Hey, you're the United States president. You're the United States of America's president. Like literally brainwash them to do that and they will become that. Like most people don't do that. Like, but watch King Richard and see how he was with his children. That's how you gotta be. Like you gotta have vision. If you don't got vision, you will fail. You will lose in life. Like literally, you have to be able to close your eyes and see your future. You don't like, and your future is what you imagine, what you want in your life, what you deep down in your heart want in your life for yourself. You can have it if you close your eyes and visualize it, and then know, you know what, work towards it. Don't just say, "Hey, I wish this had happened for myself," and like don't do nothing to do it. No, set out a plan to get where you want in life. Get to where you want in life. If you don't got a plan, you'll fail. That was in the movie. Like he had a sign said, "If you don't plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, or you're planning to fail." Something like that. Like I heard it before, but just seeing that sign in the movie, it's like, man, like he was tapped in. You could see he was tapped in. All right. And he wasn't considered King Richard while he was doing what he was doing. He was looked at as crazy. Like people call the police on him because he had Venus and Serena in the rain training. But he had, like I said, he had vision. Like, and look what he became. Like, look what he did. Come on. Two of the top, like, just if you got HBO Max, go watch King Richard and like see how he was the father to his daughters. Like that shit got him. Man. He made it was this one. Damn, I can't tell y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all. But still, like the movie is pretty good. It's pretty good. I ain't even finished watching it. Now that I think about it, I still got like an hour left on the movie to finish. But I've been avoiding it for like months off the strip. Like I'm like, man, I don't want to watch it. I wasn't interested. But lately, I've been seeing Venus and Serena. Well, no, I'd have been I've been seeing more. I did see Serena. Not Serena. I seen Venus yesterday on the Oscars, and she had like her cleavage was hanging out. So I'm like, I've been seeing them recently, but not knowing why I was seeing them. But I was going. That was letting me know I was gonna be watching King Richard. So pretty good movie so far, even though I didn't finish it. That's how I used to be with a lot of shit in life. Like I started, it's a lot of shows that I got on my list that I started that I never finished. Movies, TV shows, albums. Like I'm just now I'm like learning to like finish shit more often. But I got a lot of unfinished shit. Just can't help it. But that was just like my character. Now I'm evolving to this person like who follows through, like who, like I said, I told myself 30 days, post every single day. Just post a short. Screen record a video that's inspirational to you, give title, get on post it on YouTube. And guess what? The shit start fucking working. Now I got an extra 9 million views off like just telling myself post every single day because you get on there and watch somebody else's video. Why don't you post? So even though I'm not monetized, like I could be monetized literally in the next few months, and I will be. Not I could. I will be monetized by May, like literally. So, me knowing that, having this mindset, training myself, hey, post every day, get on live every single day, even while I took my break. I'm gonna take breaks. Just let you know, I'm gonna take a live break. But if I can watch somebody else's YouTube video, I can post a short. Like so, that's the whole thing. Like if you wanna it's easy. I'm telling you, it's easy for you to do it. It's an easy test yourself. Give yourself this test. A 30-day challenge. Listening to Payroll Giovanni, like I'm about to do this test, like where I just hustle 30 days straight and like don't spend no money. Like so that's what I'm gonna do. I've never done that where I just grinded 30 days straight, like where I ain't spend no money. I always just grind, spend, grind, spend. Like now I'm about to just 30 days straight and see what I do. Because no lie, I'm about to buy a Rolly. I'm not about to buy no bust down. I'm not interested in nothing bust down. I don't care about diamonds. I think diamonds are worthless. Not all diamonds, but most of them are worthless. But the Rolex, I do want the plain Jane presidential Rolly Oyster Perpetual. But at first, I used to think I couldn't have stuff like that because I thought like people, everybody who bought jewelry, I thought they worshiped their jewelry. That's not true. Like literally, that's not true. That's how I was programmed to think. Like so, now I know everybody don't worship jewelry. They use it as like to get the eyes on them. Like that's how people take notice of them because they got on all this jewelry, like or they want to be seen. For the longest, I wasn't trying to be seen, but I'm trying to get this brand seen. Like so, whatever like tactic I figure out, like to get people to watch my lives or whatever. Like I'm gonna try new things. I'm gonna test new things. Like so, I may end up switching the title for to this video about like some Chris Rock and Will Smith because that got me at 200 extra live views, which is more added to my fucking watch time hours. So this is all about getting watch time hours, getting monetized. So at first I was just getting on live, doing the books. That was getting me like hours, but I only talked about Will Smith and like Chris Rock an hour and 40 minutes, and I got like 16 hours that night off watch time hours. So like that was pretty good, like compared to like if I'm doing a book and I can do it, I'll be on there for like 3 hours and then I'll get like 16 hours of watch time. But people do watch the videos after, so that's always the watch time hours going up. That's why I'm doing it so I can have so much content. So when I do pop or when I do blow, people got hundreds of hours of content that they can watch and they can go back to. Like so, I'm pretty sure I got over 100 hours worth of like live streams that you can watch. So if you're new to the chat, make sure you hit that live. I said make sure you hit that live. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Really appreciate it. But yeah, we were talking about is Christianity a religion or is it a lifestyle? The conversation I had yesterday was very inspired, very enlightening, and it let me know who like a true Christian, a person who like walks that walk and walks the talk, like she really is that. Like and it probably because she's been through life, like she has that experience, like but most people who I've came across in like churches, like there was the complete opposite of what Jesus wanted people to be like. So and to know like this shit is all the same. Her beliefs and my beliefs is the same. We just use different words. Like literally, we use different words. Like how she says humble. I say grounded. Like it's the same thing. Like so, it's like my son's grandma is like my soul. Well, my son's great grandma is like my soulmate. Like it's crazy to like how that is. Like we was able to. We had a 2 hour conversation, and it was like the time like flew. I was like interested. Like I didn't want to leave from like having that conversation, but it was dope. Like I didn't expect that. I really did. I didn't even bring my lighter. Wait, yes I did. I thought the devil got to go in the house. Ain't no moon tonight. Man, I can't believe I missed this 90-degree weather back home, dealing with some fucking 20, 30-degree weather. For 5 days, it did nothing but rain, drizzle, snow, with dark clouds. I'm like, damn, this really do portray the energy around this motherfucker. That's why people are always miserable, stressed, depressed. Like, that energy is really heavy down there. Like, I was negative thoughts was trying to pop up in my head like all the time. Like, what the fuck? This shit is not normal for me. Like, I'm like, I definitely gotta go back home and cleanse my energy from this shit. But it just lets you know, like, the environment you in, like, really plays a big part in, like, your journey, like how you are, how successful you are in life. Most people have to leave a certain area to be successful. I had to leave Indiana, Gary, Indiana, to get this success that I am now. Like, so, if I was still there, I'd probably be working for somebody else. If not, like, I'll probably just be having income but not working. Like, I'll just be sitting at the home playing video games all day. But once I moved to Vegas, that made me like get on my grind. When I say it, like literally made me get on my grind, knowing like there was people around me. Like when I was in Indiana, like everybody around me, I'm pretty sure I made more money than them. Like just the people like that I knew, like seen on a daily. Like I know I made more money than them. When I moved to Vegas, started meeting people, being around people that made like quadruple, 10 times more than what I made. Like so, I was basically went from like being a big fish in a small like pond to like a small fish in a big pond. Like that was like the chapter of my story when I first moved to Vegas. Like so knowing like I've grown in this ocean, like I'm still not like a big shark, but I'm not no small goldfish like I used to be. Like so I see myself more as a dolphin anyway. Like if I'm to be honest. If I'm gonna be a creature of the sea, it'd be a. Well, I just had a vision of an octopus. Octopus. I need to go research that because I was thinking dolphin. If I was a creature of the sea, but I was seeing an octopus. Or somebody's thinking like, if I was a creature of the sea, I was an octopus. Like, you playing that music, and we trying to get copyrighted. What y'all smoking on? Or if not smoking, what y'all rolling? And if you're not a smoker, what you drinking? If you're not drinking, what you reading? If you're not reading, what you doing? Oh, you watching me. But what you think about? What y'all think about? That's what I'm gonna start asking like random people like, what you thinking about? Who's been in here commenting every night? We only show one person, but I know it's more than one person. Tasha, what you think about? Time to my it automatically deletes all of it. Yeah, I seen it. Like I did that to one. I'm like, man, I couldn't even see the comment because I literally deleted. I ain't even purposely delete it, but I hit it. So, your thoughts about Wim Hof? What's Wim Hof? I'm not like one of those people who think I know everything. What's Wim Hof? Enlighten me. Well, you probably like just got a shorter word that I probably do know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of high, so you gotta break it more down. But sometimes I don't have a perspective on certain things because he's a Dutch journalist. Oh, did he expose some information? Like, what happened? Was he murdered or something? Was that the guy? I don't think that was the guy that was murdered in that like camp. That was years ago. By the Saudi Arabians.
Teaches meditation. Oh, snap. Nah, I haven't heard of him. I'm probably, is he on YouTube? Probably came across one of his videos, but it's not something like I'll like watch on a daily or see on a daily. Man, when I started, thank you for talking about meditation now and give me something to talk about. When I first started meditating, I had this Kundalini, did this Kundalini awakening meditation, right? And I think it was like, I ain't gonna say it was the first meditation that I did right. But it was like the first meditation that I did, and I truly felt something. It felt like I was on fire. It felt like it was something like I truly couldn't explain. Like that was coming up my body. Like it felt like a snake rising, but I couldn't say it was a snake. But it felt like something was just fire, just rising up in me, and it was like when I had that, like, did that Kundalini awakening meditation. That's when I felt like I became more aware of who I was, and then that's when I started just doing meditation all the time, like doing past life meditations, doing like just psychic gift meditations. Like literally, I was just tapping to all those on YouTube. Like so, my YouTube history is like full of meditations, different meditations. Even before I get on YouTube, I mean, in a YouTube live, I'll meditate. Like so, somebody said I should check something out earlier, but I forgot what it was. I'm gonna have to go back into the live. I'm hungry. Do y'all understand how important credit is? I think I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right? I always knew about credit, right? Even though I went to Gary, I was from Gary, Indiana, and I went to a school called Roosevelt. Shoot, that's on my head. Even though I went to the school called Roosevelt in Gary, Indiana, which it doesn't teach you about credit, like none of that shit, important taxes, none of that. In my senior year, I had this co-ed class, which did, but every year it was only probably like 10 seniors out of what, like 100, 200 students that got to have this class in each school. Like so I was fortunate enough to get that class, but it still didn't teach me enough about credit. Now I'm like 32, I truly understand the importance of credit. But when I was like 19, 18, I was just fucking up my credit, thinking that, hey, I could just get stuff for free and not pay for it. Like, even though I had the money, I didn't pay my bills. Like, when I got into the military, they told me, like, literally told me, they didn't particularly tell me, but they was saying, like speaking while we was in class, don't go to the mall and buy these uh laptops that's for $2,000. Don't finance them just because you can get it free. For some reason, it just didn't click to me. I wanted a computer so bad. And going through malls, like when you're in a military town, they always offer, hey, come in here, you can get this free, you can get this free. No money down, you're in the military. Like, so seeing that repeatedly and being in the military, knowing like in the barracks that you ain't got no TV, you ain't got no game. Like when you first moved there, you have nothing but a bunk, like a bed and like a bathroom and a sink. That's all you got. Like so, if you want to live comfortably, you got to buy you a TV. You got to like even Wi-Fi. Like Wi-Fi ain't even free. Like you got to pay for Wi-Fi. Like it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's expensive, but in military towns like that, is if you go to the mall, it's always like, hey, finance this, finance that. You can get this. I got a PlayStation. I got a laptop. I got jewelry, like all like in my 20s, 19, my teenage years, and I was just fucking on my credit, not paying it off. Now, like, I've recovered now. Finally, I'm recovered, and I truly understand the importance of credit. And I realize how most people, they don't, that's not the case. Like, most people truly don't understand, like, credit. Like, and I'm like, I understand, like, Bandman Kevo, like, he's the person who teaches about credit. But if certain people look at him and they're like, oh, he's a scammer, so they can't truly trust him, like because of his background. Me, I'm like, I can't truly talk about credit because I don't do credit repair. Like I don't have, I've been building my credit lately, but I'm not an expert at it, and that's not something I can always like talk about it. So for me to be talking about credit tonight, I don't know, somebody probably need to hear it. Like, so if you need to hear something about credit, make sure you hit that like button. Like, or you can leave. You'll probably don't want to hear nothing about no credit, right? Like, these motherfuckers talking to me being psychic again and shit. I know I be saying things that y'all be thinking. Y'all be thinking, hey, this guy's reading my thoughts. You just like we all, like I said, we all got the same under the same mind. We all think the same thoughts. I'm just the speaker right now. I think so. If you thinking negative, I'm probably gonna hear a negative thought, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna say that. But whatever you think, like if I don't want to say it, I'm not gonna say it. But most of the time, I ain't gonna say most of the time, but a lot of times I think, I mean, I say what people are thinking. I'm like, that's just how it is. How's the weather where y'all at though? It was 70 degrees out here. It's 70 degrees right now. But I'm telling you, when I was in Indiana for the past 5 days, the highest it probably got was like in the 40s, and it rained and drizzled all day. And I'm not mad at that. I like that. I'm cool with that because I like rain. So it was like I was able to get that refreshing. I was able to be around grass and trees and stuff like that. Cause in Vegas, it's like this shit is hot, like it's dry. It's the desert. Like so, like it was a big difference going back home. Like so, I was always out. Me and my son was out, and his friend Devin. Like my son friend Devin is reminds me so much of myself because my son is like 5'10", and his friend is like probably like 5'3", 5'4". So that's how. And when I was 13, that's how short I was. Like, and I had a friend who was that tall. Like, well, he probably wasn't 5'10" at 12, but he was taller than me. Like, so, like I said, I always wanted to be tall so I could play basketball. But my son is tall and he don't even care about playing basketball. Like, see, it ain't about the height. I should have just played basketball. Just tried it. I tried it in my 5th grade year, and the coach on tryouts. It was like the second to last day of trials, right? Like I made it past the first day. This was the first year because I tried out my 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade years in like elementary for the basketball team. Each year I would get like cut the first day. So my 5th grade year, I made it to like the second to the last day, and like we doing one-on-ones in the gym. This is the first time I make it to the gym, like this is the first time I make it to like the second day or second or third day. And when I made it to the second day, I was super geek because like I said, I never would make it to past the first day. Like so 5th grade, I think in my head I'm doing good on defense wise, like but the dude still scoring me. But I could. It was like I'm short. I couldn't stop him. And then like even on when I was on offense, I didn't score, but it was like I was able to get to the basket at least. Like you seemed like I had potential, but my height and the coach, I remember his name. Like his name was Coach Grant, and he was like, "All right, I'll see you next year." Now this is elementary, and elementary only goes up to 5th grade. Like so, he was thinking he was gonna see me next year because he thought I was like in 4th grade or something. Like he thought he was gonna see me again. But I'm like, this my last. You would never see me again. I never tried again. Like that was embarrassing. Knowing he said that, knowing I was in 5th grade and like I would never try it again. Like, so that like shattered my confidence for ever trying out a basketball team again. Like it's crazy though. But that just let me know I wasn't gonna be no basketball player. Like that was just like If I had made the basketball team, that would have been a distraction in my life. But it probably would have got me to college. I know I ain't gonna say I was good enough to go to college, but if I had a focus, because if knowing me, like if I focus on some shit, I always accomplish. I always do get things done. Like so, if I had focused enough to like go to college, like train every day, like even though I'm 5'7", I at least would have made it to like I ain't gonna say a local college, but like a college, a scholar, some type of scholarship, sports scholarship. But I didn't have that mindset. Like once he killed my dreams in 5th grade, I said fuck all of that. So shout out to Coach Grant for like putting me on a path to like not chasing no basketball dreams. Like and the fact like J. Cole like got dropped a few times, like that was like something that I resonated with. Nipsey Hussle didn't try out for the basketball team, like so his story didn't resonate with my story. But now that I'm older, I realize his story resonate more than what J. Cole's story did. Like J. Cole grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in the hood. Like literally the hood. Like even though I wasn't in the projects, my family we didn't live in the projects. Even though we grew up kind of middle class, it was still overall Gary, Indiana. Like that's a poverty city. But they're all areas of that city ain't bad. That's the whole thing. Like you got your places where even in a bad city, there's a good part in the city. Like so, I was fortunate enough where my grandma and my Gigi owned her own home, and she owned her car. She had A1 credit till my grandma messed it up. Like so, she would always throw that in my grandma's face. Like I had A1 credit till you messed it up, Dixie. Like so that like I don't know that should have that didn't spark me to take care of my credit, knowing like Gigi didn't put that much emphasis on like how much credit is important to you. Like she just used to always say my grandma messed up her credit. So my Gigi was I guess when she got to the age when her credit got messed up, like she wasn't about to try to go like afford no shit, like and buy no shit on like build her credit back. Back then, like I'm pretty sure it was hard to like she wasn't trying to pay off all them fucking credit card debts my grandma had made, especially when she retired. Like she ain't had that same income coming in. So like me, I'm still young, so it's important for me to work on my credit now. Like so I'll be in a position by like next year I'll have probably I know I'll have an 800 credit score. Like so I got a plan like doing that. Like so all I got to do is stay focused on the plan. Like don't like stray off from this plan. Like so that's the plan on YouTube. I got a plan for YouTube. Post every single day. Post shorts every day. Shout out to One Love. Like you said, what fam? What did I say? I forgot what I said. Or did you mean what up, fam? You missed the up part. That's why like texting and like messaging is so different, like from being in person, seeing like talking to somebody in person. But I just lit 5 days straight. I didn't smoke flower. Now I just smoked 3 blunts. Not even on camera. I smoked the blunt before I got on camera, and then I just smoked these two. So 3 blunts back to back. I'm kind of like super stupid blow right now. I figured you meant what up, man. Like I'm kind of stupid high. But at least I took my break. It's cool. Like shit. At least I took that little break. My lungs got a little break now. It's like I'm abusing. I need to not like even when I fast sometimes. Like I got that from Christianity fasting. Like so, I fast a lot, which means like I'll eat breakfast, lunch, and I'll eat like dinner. But sometimes I'll not do that, and then sometimes I'll like eat too much. Then I'm like, oh, I overdid it. I need to like balance that shit out. Like so, honestly, I didn't even know like I was gonna be talking too much this night tonight. I really did. It feels like I was here yesterday. I talked on here yesterday, but I wasn't because I just got home. So I ain't even really get no good sleep last night. So tonight I'm gonna sleep good as fuck. Honestly, it's 9:15. I'm gonna finish watching King Richard tonight. So I ain't even gonna stay on. Why is people coming up in here now? When I'm trying to wind down, now people coming. If y'all like, if someone, one person like, I'm gonna stay at least 30 minutes longer. But if nobody like within the next 10 seconds, I'm about to hop off live. Like, so y'all just gonna have to catch me late. So it's 12 likes in here. If somebody hit that, somebody just left. So if I don't get no extra like within like the next 30 seconds, I'ma just deuces up out this mug. Like, so we'll see. If not, I'll be back tomorrow, of course. Did somebody? Yep, they hit it. They hit the like. Hey, because I was ready to be like, take this bug in the house. If my wife is in here, can you please order some Applebee's? And once the food get here, then I'll get off. But if she ain't in here, she ain't gonna hear me say this. It's crazy, right? But I'm gonna stay on here just because no, never. I got that like. So shout out to you for hitting that like button. I don't know the answer to your question. What was my question? I'll be forgetting stuff. I'll be asking a lot of questions too. I heard somebody. I hit it, but I'm gonna dip sooner than 30 though. Oh, so you gonna order us our Applebee's? And I'm gonna take those wings. I haven't had like my wings in a minute. Oh, for the religion or lifestyle. I believe like for certain people it's religion, for certain people it's a lifestyle. Like so, it's just like a spirituality level. There's woke, there's awareness, and then there's enlightenment, and then there's like the Christ consciousness level, and you got the God level. Like so, it's different levels to it. So me is like make sure I know where I'm at in life and just keep going forward and like keep going up. Like most people just be comfortable where they at and they don't even be liking where they at in life, but that's where they at. And they don't believe they can. Yes. So once the food get here, I'm gonna be out. But most people don't even try to fucking do anything in their life because they feel like they gonna fail. But you failing to realize if you don't do nothing, you failing. Like so, me, I'd rather fucking try some shit and fail and try again. Like fuck it, why not? Like I've been through hella obstacle courses in life in the Marines to know like shit. Some obstacles I couldn't get over the first time, but I kept trying and I finally got to the end. I'm telling you, like so, I've been through that obstacle course. Like that old course is what they call it in the Marines. So I understand like I can push myself to the limits where things where I thought I couldn't accomplish in life, I can accomplish those things. It was just a mental thing. And once I overcame, like most people don't use 10% of their brain. Like I'm a person that's trying to access 90% of it, at least 100%. That's it at least. What else can you tap into? People like 100%, 110%. That's what only that do goes into effect when you investing in stocks and shit. So I guess I can go 200%, but nah, I probably feel like brain wise, mental level wise, I probably feel like I'm accessing 15 to 20% of my brain. Like I feel like it's still way more levels I can tap into because I'm only 32. Like so, if nobody tries to take me out, you never know the motherfucker's intentions. See me growing and see my light. I'm like, I gotta fucking stop that. Fuck that shit. We not speaking that. And I protect myself from all of that. I protect myself from all negative entities, energies that do not like me, that is trying to harm me. May that return to sender 100,000 fold. Like so. if you wish death on me, I wish 1,000 deaths on you. Guess I'm not just bullhead. I feel like I need answers. I feel eager before I fuck that shit. I jump into shit without answers a lot of times. Like 100% times when I say I want to do something, I do it without having like a lot of information about it. Like when I went into the Marines, I didn't have a lot of information about who the Marines was. I just knew I was trying to get out the hood. So my not my drill instructor, but my recruiter, he nicknamed me Silent Assassin, cause he like this dude is going into the Marines, yet he's asking no questions, like he just ready to go, and I'm yeah, that's how it was. Like I'm ready to go, like shit. Like but the Marines is like that's the platform. Well, I mean not the platform, but the branch where like it's about what the Marines is about, like shit. So that's the one I chose. Like I wanted to go into the Navy. First, I wanted to go into Air Force. Like overall, when I first decided I was going into the military, I wanted to go into the Air Force. I would call the recruiter all day. Nobody would pick up. Then my brother went into the Navy, and the Navy recruiter was coming to the house, and I tried to like take the test, the practice test, and I failed. And the next day, like the Marine recruiter came. I think the Navy recruiter like this nigga is not good enough to get into the Navy, but she didn't even give me an extra chance. The Marine recruiter, he gave me a chance. No, he didn't give me a chance. I guess he knew that I had didn't pass. I got like a 16 on the practice ASVAB. You need like a 32 or 30 on the practice ASVAB before you can take the real test. Like so, the first time me not even practicing, like I said, I would jump into things not knowing them. Like I didn't study what was on the ASVAB test. I didn't even ask my brother what was on it. I didn't even pick his brain. I was just like, fuck it, I want to do it too. Like so, I always have them into like if somebody else can do it, I can do it too. Especially if I see him do it. Like so, I seen multiple people in my neighborhood take the ASVAB, and I'm like, I'm just as smart as these people, but when I first took that as practice, I only got like a 16. So I'm like, dang, I guess I ain't that as smart as I thought I was. But it was more technical. It wasn't just math, English. It was like all of science, electricity, all of that. So I'm like, that when the Marine recruiter gave me a CD to study, like a disc to put in my computer and study it, I studied that mug like for like a couple weeks and I passed the time he gave me the test again. I passed it. Then I went to MEPS in Indianapolis for like a day, and I took the real test and I passed again. Like so, I had a choice to like say I don't want to go to the Marines. I want to go to another branch, but I ain't even say it. I'm like, hey, I'm already here. Like so, like I ain't. He was like, you don't want to know nothing about boot camp. You don't want to know nothing about like how it's gonna be. I'm like, nah, I just want to go. Like I'm like, nope, I just want to go. I don't want you to lie to me, cause I know like I don't know if somebody told me they lied, but I just know. Like, cause I guess my intuition was like these motherfuckers be lying just to get you, just to draw you in. So I'm like, this is my choice. I don't need you to entice me to join this up. Like I'm signing up for myself. Yet I would have rather went into the to the Navy or the Air Force, but it was like the universe drove me to the Marines. And while I was in the Marines, my first deployment was with the Navy. I did a deployment with the on a Navy ship, like an aircraft carrier for 7 months. So during that time, I visited Jordan. I visited the Red Sea, where they say Moses spread it. And at the time, I was Christian, so I believe like he really spread that motherfucker. So like I was just happy to experience those things. Like I seen Egypt. We went through the Suez Canal through Egypt and Jordan. Like it was just crazy experience. I visited Israel on the same trip, like and at the same trip we was broke the record for being out in ocean the longest without hitting the port. Like so, that was my first deployment with the Navy. It was like was in the Navy, but I didn't actually join the Navy. And I like when I was on that ship, I'm like, man, this is kind of lit. I wish I would have joined the Navy. Like, even when I got on that deployment, I'm like, that lifestyle is way more lit. Like, cause on them ships, like, that shit is crazy. I'm telling you. Like, so I was in a relationship at the time too, which I knew I shouldn't have been in, but for some reason I wasn't listening to myself. Back in my past, I was not listening to myself at all. Like I would do the complete opposite I told myself to do. Sometimes I still catch myself doing that, but overall, I try to listen to myself because when I don't listen to myself, I make the most mistakes. So when I don't listen to myself or when I second guess myself, that's when I know I'm in the wrong. I can not expect some bad shit to happen, but I can truly say things don't go my way if I don't listen to myself. Like so, me, I make sure if I'm going to try to get somebody else advice, I need to be able to take my own advice. Alright, that part about jumping in, it's just been a crazy life, and too much damage has been done in my opinion. Who need to get that retribution? See, I wish I could remember simple things like remember what I said. Like that shit crazy. I wish like if it felt like I had gained some type of like powers, like or gifts. I ain't gonna say powers, but I'm gonna say I gained some gifts, spiritually gifts. But it took away like my memory, not my whole memory. Like I can remember like past, even long story, like past events, but I can't remember what I just said. But that's a part of me, like my gift as well, which is channeling. So, what I be speaking, I be speaking. You talking about your church? Like what I be speaking on like I be having spirits that help me talk and what I need to talk about. So what I be saying, and you be thinking I'm reading your mind, I could be hearing your thought, or my ancestor could be telling me to say this or say that. Like so, I'm tapped in, like for sure, 100% sure. I'm on the spirit realm, like just as well. I'm on the earth realm, like so. Some people just on this 3D level. Me, I've evolved past the 3D. I believe some people only think there's like 1D, 2D, and 3D. Me, I know like there's like 9 different other dimensions. Knowing like there's more than that when there's unlimited numbers of galaxies and stuff like that. So like this, it's like if you ever played Roblox with your kids or you ever seen Roblox, this game has different worlds with like that you can go to. If you ever seen Ready Player One, it's like the universe is like that. You can go wherever you want. You could be whatever you want to be. You can do like literally do whatever you want. Like if you evolve to the level way, I mean, the spiritually awareness to like knowing like your soul ain't just condemned to heaven or hell. Like I learned hell wasn't real off the strength. I kept reincarnating. Like so, it may be a hell in the end when this shit is all said and done, but that's eons from now. This Earth may be destroyed, but not all these other galaxies. This is just one. Shit, that's just how the game goes. Just like the dinosaur, just take shit get wiped out. Gotta start over. It's gonna be a better human. Like I'm telling you, that's why they be trying to kill these. I mean, I ain't gonna say they be trying to get rid of the humans. Like, but Thanos, I see why Thanos was. This may half the universe disappear because half those people wasn't doing what they came here to do. They just been wasting air and wasting their breath and like just working a 9 to 5 and not knowing who they is and like just wasting space, wasting gas. Like, just imagine if this world was only full of people who knew what their purpose was only here to do what they came here to do. It'd be way less people on this planet. Like, so Daniel was like, "Hey, we need a planet where it's only like people, positive minds only, positive minds only people." Like, so he got rid of all of the negative mind, not negative people. The Avengers like, "No, we need everybody." Thanos like, "Nah, we don't need everybody." But then when they tried to get him, like when they tried to, I just watched Endgame the other day too. Like so, when they actually did go get the other people and bring that shit back, but still he was like, "Nah, I need to get rid of all of this and like just start the people where they don't know nothing about this world." Like and the Avengers like, "You can't do that. You can't build of mankind off blood." And Thanos like, "They'll never know." Like so it ain't even gonna matter. Like, but they stopped that, of course. But I fuck with Avengers Heaven because I'm telling you that shit is true. That shit is true. If you watch Marvel, if you're a fan of Marvel, all that shit is true. From Doctor Strange, like Thanos, it's motherfuckers in the universe who got power like that, be destroying shit. Like so, I know that shit is real. My mission might be to shake ish up. Then feel like we can use a good shake for shit. I feel like I came here to shake shit up. Like what I talk about ain't no normal shit. Like so, I came here definitely to shake some shit up. Like so, my thing, what I talk about, everybody ain't gonna be able to resonate with, and that's cool. I don't. That ain't what I came here to do. I ain't came here to resonate with the world. I came here to shake shit up. Like most people don't believe in reincarnation. Most people don't know that shit real. It's true. But me, I understand it because I tapped in with myself. They let us know. Exactly. Hollywood is one of the biggest way they let us know like what's really going on in the world. Star Trek, why you think those shows last so long? If you really watch Star Trek from the beginning, they had computers before fucking computers was existing. Like they was literally tapped into shit like that information is always been there. It's been in front of you. Nobody black people can't say, "Oh, they've been holding us back. They've been oppressing us." How? We all have the ability to get on the internet. We all have the ability to go to a library. We all got the ability to read a book. Like, so how are you being oppressed by anybody? No, it's you in your mind being oppressed. Yes, they put things on TV. Yes, they put music things in the music. Want you to fucking sell drugs. Want you to destroy your life. Want you to not have no type of vision, no type of goals. Like, yes, that's what that music is trained to do. Like, but at the same time, you could avoid that. You don't have to listen to that. Yeah, it sound good, but at the same time, you could stop. You could stop yourself from doing that. You can stop. I did. At least I did it for 30 days. Now the music I listen to, I don't listen to just the average radio. I don't listen to the radio at all. I'm gonna listen to Nipsey Hussle. I'm gonna listen to Money Man. I'm gonna listen to Young Dolph. I gotta throw King Von in there. Like even though his music ain't all that positive, like we come from the same like environment. Like so I understand why he's like that. If he was in a better environment, King Von would have been like like me. Like I grew up in Gary, Indiana, where the violin didn't take off until afterwards. Like so, it was. I mean, it was all bad, but it wasn't like for my age group. We wasn't playing with guns. Like we was going fighting with our fists. Like that's all we needed. Like it wasn't no point to pick up a gun. Like we all knew each other. Everybody knew each other live. Like so, it couldn't be no shootouts. Like there are certain races with more opportunities though. The people, the races that got the more opportunities because those people created those opportunities. Do you want another person's opportunities or do you want to create your own opportunity? Like so, yeah. If they creating all the stuff that you want, the material shit, yeah, then yeah, they gonna be in control of that. But at the same time, you can create that. Or you can find some people like you who created that. Like so, we all got opportunity. You can find a way. I'm telling you, it's not hard. Yes, you got to start from scratch. But even those people, those rich people like Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Napoleon Hill, these people started with nothing. They started with their mind, knowing they can manifest whatever they wanted, and got to that level. They didn't start off with a handout. Like they got it off the strength of wanting more. Like so, I'm not comparing it to like fucking Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. Yeah, they got probably help from their family, but they had a vision. Like that's what it's about, having the idea and capitalizing off the vision. Like so, most people aren't on that. Most people don't think like that. So most people just praying to God and hoping something happens, and usually you don't. Like, yeah, you may be sick and you may get healed, but I don't. I get sick many a times, but I heal myself. Like politics, Hollywood science. And yep, that's all the same. Like so, I'm into all of that. I fuck with politics. I may get in that like on the education side, like because I have children. Like I believe like they should be teaching finance in school, investing, all of that. Teaching kids about self, leaning more towards their strengths and like it's different like how school is and how it should be. Like I feel like growing up with the school I was in, it was like the pipeline of jail. 8 hours a day you in class, you get what 30 an hour lunch, and like you go home and you gotta study. You gotta do that on repeat. Like you walking in line of class in elementary, you had to walk in line. You couldn't walk by yourself. Like so, it's like man, this shit is like depressing for real. Like so, I don't even like school like that honestly. If you new to the live, make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. I mean, certain races dominate in certain subjects. Yeah, that is true. Just like, I mean, black people dominating certain things, white people dominating certain things. We all got our strengths. Like, so, but most people be trying to jump in somebody else and say, oh, I want that strength. Like, I want that. I want to do what they doing. But if you tap into what you good at, like, it's going to be people like, man, I want to do what he doing. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people who watch me like, man, I want to get to that level of thinking. Like, so, and me, I'll be listening to Nipsey Hussle like, man, I just wish I can get to that level. Like, but just knowing like we all on different levels and understanding like nobody's at the top. I mean, what Jeff Bezos and fucking Elon Musk ain't even at the top. Like literally, they not even at the top. There's people trillionaires. You probably they. I mean, not probably. They don't even want you to even know how much they got. They don't give a fuck about being seen. There's people who own oil, like I'm telling you, like got money way past Jeff Bezos, like and don't care about being in the public, like don't want to be on Forbes list. So I'm trying to get on that level for the simple fact, like I'm trying to build generational wealth, and like to leave that legacy, like to do it right, because this is my last time on Earth. Like I'm telling you, I'm going somewhere like where the advantages, like a peaceful planet where it's just me and fruit and like just peaches and shit for real. Like fuck this shit. I'm gonna be out of on Earth. That's why I'll probably be here long as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie, I'll probably be on Earth long as fuck. For the simple fact I got a mission that I gotta complete. So I'm not gonna try to shorten that mission. I'm not gonna do nothing to jeopardize it. So of course I know it's people who want to see me fall and see me fail, but I'm destined. I'm the one. Like so, understand me knowing like I'm the one, and I look at myself as the one. Like of course there's other people who consider themselves as the one as well, but just for me, like I know I'm the one. Like can't nothing stop me except for myself. Like so if I don't pay attention, if I don't listen to myself, I'm setting myself up for failure. It's not somebody else that's stopping me. So yep, I'm about to end this live. It's cool chilling with y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.